What's going on, guys? It is Slizzig here, and today I'm coming at you with the 4K60 Pro. Now today in this video I'm going to be showing you how to install and set up your new capture card. Unfortunately, whenever I was filming myself installing, I forgot that my camera audio was off. Oh well, it happens. But I'm going to voice over the key highlights of the video and walk you through this installation and setup. Let's get to it. So first thing here, we're going to be doing the unboxing of the 4K60 Pro. Now inside the box they have a little instruction on how to install. Here we have the 4K60 Pro in the flesh. Included in the box is also a small Elgato metal sticker to put onto the front of your PC to show that you're rocking an Elgato 4K60 Pro. We'll put that on later. Inside it also comes with a user manual. It also comes with a 5-foot HDMI cable, which I actually did not use and ended up using a 6-foot cable for my personal setup. Every setup's going to be slightly different, and I almost forgot that it comes with a smaller expansion slot that you can use depending if your PC case requires it. Mine doesn't, so we're just going to leave that in the box. And here we have it, the 4K60 Pro. Absolutely gorgeous. So now it's time to install the 4K60 Pro in our PC. So I have my PC laid here on its side, and you can follow along. I first start by removing the tempered glass on my PC, just to open up this case. Once I get the glass set over to the side, we're going to go ahead and install. Now inside my PC, I already have an additional USB 3.1 installed into the PCI slot that I need. We're going to get that changed out. This is an additional setup for my personal build, but I'm going to go ahead and unscrew the current expansion slot just to move it back to the rear PCIe slot. Since my Hue Plus is in the way, the Elgato's a bit thicker and it wouldn't fit in the rear PCIe slot, but my USB 3.1 will, so we're going to switch those around. Now, depending on what type of case you have, your expansion slots may have a bracket over top that you may need to remove. Now this all varies between what type of case you have, and additional steps if you have other components installed that you need to switch around just to make space. Now even moving my USB 3.1 to the rear PCIe slot, I noticed that my Hue Plus was still in the way. So if you run into this same problem where there's any sort of devices or hardware in the way, you may have to readjust how you have it set up in your PC. Now I was having a little bit of a difficulty getting the Hue Plus into place, so for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to leave it to the side for now and readjust later. Now here I have wide open the PCIe slot that I'm going to install my Elgato 4K60 Pro into. Now once you have it aligned, gently push it down into the PCIe slot. Once it's fully secured into the slot, you're good to go to screw the expansion slot back in. And if your expansion slots have an additional top bracket, go ahead and put that back on now. Now that we're finished with that, it's time to put back on our tempered glass, or whatever side panel you have on your PC case. Give it a good wipe down, and it's time to put the sticker on. Place your logo wherever you wish to on your PC to make it look best to show that you're rocking in style with a 4K60 Pro. And now that we have that put on, let's go and take a look at our nice new clean, updated, and improved setup. Now it's time to break out those HDMI cables and connect your capture card to your console. Take your first HDMI cable and plug it into the HDMI out of your console, and plug the other end into the HDMI in on your Elgato. After that, you'll take your second cable and plug the HDMI into the HDMI out of your Elgato, and the other end into your TV or your monitor, and go ahead and power up your PC. So now that you turned on your PC for the first time after installing, you're going to go ahead and head over to the Elgato website and install the drivers. Here we have listed the Elgato Game Capture 4K60 Pro and Pro MK2. Now go ahead over to Device Manager and just double check and make sure the drivers were properly installed. And just for safe practice, I like to go ahead and reboot my system. I'll come right back to you guys after I'm rebooted. And now's a great time to boot up your console and open up OBS in your computer. With OBS open now, I'm going to walk you through how to set up your capture card as a video input device. Come over to the sources section and click the plus symbol and you will select the video capture device option. I'm going to go ahead and name this 4K60 Pro and select OK. Now the device was automatically recognized under 4K60 Pro MK2, but one thing you'll notice is that the picture is extremely zoomed in. That's because the device's preset is automatically registering for a 4K monitor. Right now, currently I'm running a 1080 monitor, so we're gonna have to go under there and change the resolution from default to custom. That's only if you're running a 1080 monitor like me. You can put your custom input in for whatever size monitor resolution you're running. Mine personally is a 1920 by 1080. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in 1920 by 1080, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna select OK. And then you'll see instantly that it'll resize the picture and we're ready to go. Now I'm going to pan over and give you a nice little view to show that it's emulating exactly what is on my gaming console monitor. Now it looks great, but that wasn't the situation whenever I actually started up a game. I noticed that the color wasn't directly on point to what it actually should be. As you've seen here, my console monitor was a different color and hue from what my PC monitor was showing, and you can even see here in gameplay the hue's just a little bit off, but there's an easy solution to it. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and open up the 4K Capture Utility program. If you haven't already downloaded it, it's a free download from the Elgato website. In the top right corner of the application there's going to be a little settings cog. Go ahead and click that. Once the menu pops up, go ahead and click the Device tab. Now under here, there's a few different options, but the EDID default is what we're going to be looking for. Now all you have to do is set that to whatever monitor resolution yours is. I already went ahead and did this before I took this video clip, so you're not going to see a change in there. Mind you, you're only going to have to do these steps if you're not running a 4K monitor, which is the default for the card. Go ahead and select whatever resolution yours is, and you'll see an instant change. That should have solved your color correction issues, but if not, you can change that in the Elgato settings or directly in OBS to adjust color correction as needed. Now that we got color correction down and ready to go, let's hop into a game and see how this thing functions. There you have it, absolutely smooth as butter, and I think it's about time to wrap this up. So, just went over the 4K60 Pro. I hope you guys found this video to be a little bit helpful. If there's any sort of questions, please leave them in the comments below and I can try to help you out the best I possibly can. This is my first time installing one and I absolutely loved it so far. Great clarity, very simple, easy to use as soon as you get it all set up. Not sponsored by Elgato by any means, but this is not the first Elgato piece of equipment that I've owned or used. Currently, I do use a Camlink 4K, which you can go online and find some of those as well if you want to get a little bit more of a professional quality out of your videos. Currently, I'm running a Canon 5D Mark III DSLR camera with a 24mm lens. Of course, with a DSLR, you can have advantages. For one is your clarity. You see, I have a pretty decent shallow depth of field in the background. Myself, I can adjust it to where I am focused in the foreground. Especially with the DSLR being able to have the ability to change lenses, you can change into any lens that suits your needs for whatever you're going to be doing in your streaming setup. And if you're a photographer or a videographer and you just so happen to have a DSLR or even a 3CCD camera, you can go ahead and throw on a Camlink 4K and connect it to your computer to be able to turn that camera into a webcam to give your videos that cutting edge over most video creators or streamers. I've also had the capture card before this, the HD60S Plus, which is a phenomenal capture card, but personally I switched over to a PCIe capture card because of the fact of cable management. But so far, out of all the Elgato products that I have used so far, none of them have done me wrong in any sort of way. So far, I've had a fairly easy experience and pleasurable experience using every single Elgato product that I have. Now, given my honest recommendation, if you're thinking about purchasing the 4K60 Pro, I say do it. 2 thumbs up, highly recommend it, especially if you're going to be doing any sort of streaming or YouTube videos or anything of the sort. And if you have the extra couple hundred laying around to be able to invest in either of these, I highly recommend it. And if you found this video to be helpful, please leave a big thumbs up and drop a subscribe down below. Leave a comment and appreciate all the love and support. You can also catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Slizzig. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Slizzig out. Peace. Wham bam. Shazam.